Every month, Nathan sends an extra $500 to his mortgage company, and every month, Kevin sends that same $500 to his investment account. They're starting from the exact same place, but a single choice is sending them down completely different paths. One of them will retire with significantly more money. This diagram outlines their identical starting conditions. Nathan and Kevin bought the exact same house, a $300,000 purchase price with 20% down, leaving them with a $240,000 mortgage at 6.5% interest over 30 years. Their required monthly payment is $1,517. After covering all their monthly living expenses, both men have an extra $500 left over. They have the same income and the same exact debt. The only difference is what they do with that spare cash. Nathan sends his $500 directly to his mortgage servicer every single month as an extra payment toward his principal balance. His single priority is to own his home free and clear as fast as mathematically possible. Kevin makes his minimum mortgage payment and routes his extra $500 straight into a broad market index fund. He is entirely focused on building a portfolio that compounds over time. The perceived safety of total debt elimination versus the compounding power of the stock market. To figure out who actually wins this mathematical battle, we have to map out the exact numbers over the next 3 decades. Let us follow Nathan's money first. When he adds $500 to his principal every month, he chips away at the balance faster. That reduces the total interest that accrues the following month, which allows even more of his future payments to hit the principal. Because it compounds in the other direction, Nathan pays off his mortgage in approximately 20 years instead of 30. He cuts an entire decade off the loan and saves roughly $97,000 in guaranteed interest charges. At year 20, his mortgage is completely gone. He suddenly has his original $1,517 monthly payment freed up, plus the $500 extra he was already putting toward the loan. For the final 10 years, he redirects that entire $2,000 a month into the same index fund Kevin uses. This split line graph tracks their final net worth over 30 years. The bottom line follows Nathan's wealth. He hits zero debt at year 20, and his portfolio grows at an expected 7% annual return. By year 30, he has a fully owned house and an investment portfolio worth roughly $345,000. Now look at the top line, which tracks Kevin. He makes minimum payments on his mortgage every month. He invests his $500 from day 1, straight through to year 30, entirely without interruption. Kevin finishes paying off his mortgage on the original 30-year schedule, but his investment portfolio has grown to $610,000. He ends up with $265,000 more in liquid wealth than Nathan. On paper, Kevin wins by a substantial margin. The mathematical force of his market returns outpaces the savings Nathan generated by eliminating his debt. But the conversation does not end there. To understand why these two paths diverge so heavily, we have to look past the raw dollar amounts and compare the actual rates of return. When Nathan sends extra money to his mortgage company, every dollar applied to principal avoids generating 6.5% annual interest. By permanently avoiding that cost, paying down debt provides a return perfectly equal to the interest rate. Nathan gets a guaranteed 6.5% yield. It does not fluctuate. Kevin uses a diversified index fund, which historically averages between 7% and 10%. We use a conservative 7% expected return for his math. Kevin earns more overall, but he accepts risk. His 7% average return requires sitting through massive fluctuations, bad years, and market crashes. The correct way to frame this choice is a direct comparison. You are weighing the absolute certainty of locking in your specific mortgage interest rate against the uncertainty of a marginally higher expected yield in the stock market. This math dictates the correct strategy, which becomes obvious when we look at a different interest rate environment. Millions of homeowners secured mortgage rates between 2 and 3.5% during 2020 and 2021. This bar chart illustrates their reality. The guaranteed return from paying off their mortgage early is stuck at a low 3%, while the expected market return is sitting up at 7%. In a low-rate environment, the expected market return is more than double the cost of the debt. The math is not even close. Prepaying a 3% mortgage severely restricts your ability to build wealth. But when we return to Nathan and Kevin's reality, carrying a 6.5% mortgage, the debt cost shoots up and nearly levels out with the market return. That clear mathematical advantage vanishes. This is why universal financial advice fails. There is no single right answer. The correct strategy is entirely dictated by your specific locked-in interest rate. When the rates are close, strict spreadsheets miss a critical dimension of the decision. They do not account for liquidity, how easily you can actually access your money. At year 10, Kevin has an active mortgage, but he also has a growing investment portfolio. If he loses his job or faces a medical emergency, he can sell his shares and pull cash immediately. His safety net is highly liquid. Nathan is in the opposite position. He has made massive progress on his loan, but almost all of his wealth is trapped inside his home equity. In a crisis, that equity is useless unless he sells the house or takes on a new loan. However, there is a psychological cost to Kevin's approach. For many people, carrying a 30-year liability creates real financial stress. Knowing a bank holds a claim on your home weighs on them. The peace of mind from owning your house outright has genuine value. Investing maximizes your liquid safety net and your total potential wealth. Early payoff maximizes your peace of mind and permanently reduces your personal liability. You can make the right choice for your specific situation by running your numbers through a very simple logic check. This decision tree outlines the practical framework. Step 1. Identify your exact mortgage interest rate. That number is the absolute baseline for your guaranteed return. Step 2. Compare that rate against a conservative expected market return. Using 6 to 7% is a safe benchmark for planning purposes. If your mortgage rate is significantly lower, the math clearly favors investing. Step 3. Check your liquidity. If your mortgage rate is high enough to justify paying it off early, ensure you already have a robust cash emergency fund in place first. Step 4. Factor in your risk tolerance. Ask yourself how much anxiety carrying debt for decades actually causes you. If the math is close, your personal comfort is a perfectly valid tiebreaker. And if you are stuck, you can always use a hybrid approach. Splitting your extra cash evenly between your mortgage principal and an index fund captures the guaranteed interest savings while still building a liquid portfolio. Building wealth does not require extreme loyalty to one specific philosophy. Know your mortgage rate, define your expected market return, and make the decision that fits your actual numbers.